All right, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's have a look and see what's going on with your week of December 8th through the 15th, 2025. And again, just a quick reminder for everybody out there, these are just general astrology, weather, and tarot traffic reports for all of the people that are watching this channel. So if you want something that's truly personal, you got to order a personal reading from my website, integrativemysticism.com. But I am one of the last, apparently, readers to actually be showing their skills and doing personal readings. So guess what? The OG is also, I guess, the last. Here we go. When it comes to the 8th and the 9th of this week, we've got Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is going to create a series of traffic jams for everybody. And for you, this is likely going to be something that comes up around a situation that might actually be tied to some kind of old obligation, old promise, old plan, or something of historical precedent in your life. And the problem around this situation is the existence of the old plan. Now, whatever the case is happening here, it's possible this traffic jam could create some frustrations around work, your social life, or other plans. And we have to look and see, what is it about the old that needs to let up? On the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, and suddenly we also have some movement because some old stalls, illusions, detours, and maybe some issues with projects or even ideals or interactions or even relationships that have come up since July are also going to be going through some hard corrections. So if you've been feeling like maybe since about July, you've been kind of in a weird time warp kind of experience, this week is going to be helping you see through some important corrections and maybe even do some big reveals on where some things you've been dealing with or not been able to deal with have been on the wrong road all along, but now you get a chance to get things on the right road. So speaking of roads, we might as well go on and talk about your traffic report, what is happening on the ground with the astrology. I'm sorry, we already said astrology, with the tarot. So looking over here at the tarot, we've got for your big spiritual theme, the big focus, the King of Cups in reverse. And so again, this week is really going to be all about paying attention to what is clinging to you, what is clinging to the past. Whenever we have clinging energy, we usually see some kind of cup court card in reverse. Now, the King of Cups reversed is giving you the advice here to be on the lookout for people present and past that maybe have been blocking or containing or controlling you through their clinging involvements or over enmeshments with things that you have going on in your life or things that you've tried working on before. And this week, you're going to get a chance to dislodge those enmeshments. For your material circumstances, work, job, finances, practical affairs, you've got the Ten of Swords upright. This week, there could be a harsh end to a harsh situation getting brought down. And a lot of the times, the Ten of Swords, we are seeing something that's coming to an end that was already no good. So for some of you, this could actually be a really big bit of good news, getting off the hook for something or having something finally be over that's only been bringing in more stress, expense, and excess. However, with the Ten of Swords, there can be some fallout. Even though a bad thing is ending, a bad situation, a bad work setup, a bad account, a bad work relationship, there may be some fallout to deal with. For community, friends, relatives, other people in your life, you have the Eight of Pentacles upright. So this is where we start to see the goods start to shine in, because the Eight of Pentacles is indicating some kind of important upgrade, update, or trade up going on that is likely going to be benefiting you financially because of the help of an ally, a friend, or a relative. The Eight of Pentacles can often show up where it is time for an upgrade or an update. Maybe it's something overdue. For your challenge this week, you've got the Knight of Swords reversed. You may find yourself having to get ready to go toe-to-toe with somebody that's not so much a thinker, so much as they are a freaker. The Knight of Swords reversed can often show up where a highly reactive, erratic, and impulsive person might be trying to rush, force, or over-aggressively push their agenda or push their personal interests onto you or something that you care about. This could be something that's familiar and ongoing or something new. Of course, that's going to be on an Aries to Aries basis. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you have the Chariot in reverse. This week, there could be something coming up where you and a partner are likely going to need to be ready to turn from a path that you've been on because it's starting to show that it is not really working out for the good. However, the Chariot reversed can be good because it can also show up where we are getting a chance to escape something that is, again, taking up too much of our time, space, energy, and spending money. However, with the Chariot reversed, this could also be a week where it's possible your love life could be having to find a way to navigate a bit of the excess activity everywhere else. And so for you and a sweetheart or you and a significant other to find some peaceful time to yourselves, you're going to have to work. And for those of you who are single or available to new people, the Chariot card reverse is indicating this week it's more likely the case that you could be getting some of the first baby steps going in a new relationship opportunity, if that's what you're looking for. But the odds are very high here that we might just be kind of doing the opening greets and hellos, maybe an exchange of numbers, but anything more substantive or substantial might have to wait until next week because of everything else we got going on. So that is what I've got for you, Aries people. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Scarlet Moon, Son of Selene, one of the OG YouTube readers. If you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's time to see what's going on with your weekly astrological and tarot card forecasts for the week of December 8th through the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder, these are just general astrology and tarot weather and traffic reports, and so if you do want a truly personal reading, you gotta head over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or follow the links in the down bar below. I am one of the OG readers of YouTube, and apparently one of the last to still be offering personal readings, but I think all legit readers should, so hit me up if you need one. So what is going on when it comes to your week in the astrology and the weather? Well, on the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mars in Sagittarius square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is creating a focus of traffic jams for everybody, pretty much across the board. But for you, there seems to be something coming up where a traffic jam around a joint effort with friends, joint effort with a group, or maybe even a situation where you are sharing resources or sharing some kind of social or maybe family or financial interest is going to require you to reassess who is actually involved in this situation. Because sometimes the traffic jams come from within, right? They come from the company that we keep. We got the wrong people with the wrong responsibilities. And this might be a frustrating opening to the week, but it is something you can correct. Now, on the 10th, we've all got some good going on with Neptune turning direct in Pisces. And this is bringing up an opportunity where a lot of stalls, illusions, and detours that you've been set on, you know, even going all the way back to July, are going to go through some very important corrections and fixes, especially when it comes to old plans or maybe old opportunities or old golden tickets, so to speak, that maybe were on the table for you in your social life, with your support system, or any kind of big major goals, right? Or any kind of major big personal adventures. Now, if you have had kind of a rough one, right? Maybe things were going great, April, May, and June, and then suddenly we get to July and it's like the shit hit the fan. We're gonna find out why, or maybe what is responsible for that, but also get a chance to reconnect with a lot of things that maybe have been off course since July. So that's what we've got for your astrology and the weather. Let's have a look and see what's going on with your tarot and the traffic. Coming over here to the tarot, very much on theme, as it's all about your 11th house of friendships and support system, it seems. Your big spiritual theme this week is the Three of Cups upright, which is all about help from your friends, building a strong community, and also people getting more involved in your life, a stronger environment of social connections and support to open doors for you. And this week, a lot of people are going to be actually able to help you. You're going to be receiving a lot of opportunities for hookups from friends, from family members, and allies. But you are advised to make sure that you are making yourself socially available and prompt when the opportunity knocks. For your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, you've got the Strength card reversed. there may be some difficult news coming up here around something that you have already been involved in, whether you were roped into it or it's something that maybe you were working on with other people that might be proving to be unsustainable around a financial or practical affair. The Strength card reverse is indicating that this news might stir up some conflict, especially around other people that might be in defiance or denial mode, but somebody's got to be realistic about the actual outcome that could happen versus the high hopes and, affirmations people gaslight themselves with. Be careful this week. There might be some clashes with some people you share financial and professional interests with, but somebody's got to try to turn a bad train right. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you have the Justice card upright. And the Justice card is all about something getting sealed as a good deal, and possibly even a yes answer to something that you have been putting out there. This is a week where some kind of important commitment, some kind of important alliance, or again, even important contract has a chance to be crystallized or cemented, or you may even find that it looks like a friend, an ally, or a relative might be also having their story or their road merge with yours to take something that maybe you guys both want and turn it even into something bigger for you guys or your families or whatever to be able to enjoy. For your challenge this week, you've got the Page of Swords upright. Now, the Page of Swords is actually a good card. The Page of Swords is all about inquiry, exploration, experimentation, as well as also opportunities to open doors that are locked. It's the key for the lock in the door. When this card shows up as a challenge, though, we have to be ready to look outside our immediate space, our immediate environment, our immediate comfort zone. We've got to be willing to ask and answer hard questions and challenge ourselves to open conversations that maybe we might feel awkward or insecure about. Otherwise, again, we might be missing out on some important keys. And for your challenge, we just said that. For your relationships this week, you've got the Three of Wands upright. Beautiful card for love and romance because the Three of Wands is all about a big launch, a big step forward, something finally getting moving. And for a lot of you, since there is this big focus on correcting stalls, you and a partner, a spouse, or a significant other might be getting some really good news about something that maybe you guys wanted for yourselves, you wanted for the relationship or the home or the family or whatever, that did get stalled out, that did get sidelined or did get put up on a shelf, suddenly getting the response or maybe the resources or the support it needs to get moving. And this important launch or this important lucky break is going to be worth celebrating. And for those of you who are single or are available to new people, the Three of Wands upright indicates you might be finding that you're getting a bit more attention this week than you're used to, but it might actually be from people that are finally working up the nerve to speak up. Be prepared for wallflowers to suddenly start getting attention and asking for yours. So that is what I've got for you Taurus people out there. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, Scarlet Moon, and if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Howdy Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrological and tarot card forecasts for the week of December 8th through the 15th, 2025. Just a quick reminder, these are just general weather and traffic reports for everybody who's watching the video. So if you do want a truly personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or follow the links in the down bar below. I am one of the OG readers of YouTube, and apparently one of the last to be offering personal readings, but I think every legit reader should. So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces. And you might be in for a bit of a traffic jam around a conflict of interest that could be coming up. You see, Mars and Saturn, when they get into a square, they kind of highlight where certain agendas or certain plans or certain projects are actually fighting against each other, not working with each other. And if you are encountering this, there could be something coming up around maybe a working partnership, a business partnership, or maybe even a close friendship or a conflict of interest with a spouse or partner around some kind of work, career, or financial development that needs to be ironed out, or else this jam could get tense. On the 10th, we've got Neptune direct in Pisces. So Neptune is moving forward after being retrograde since about July. And this is going to be a really good aspect for everybody because a lot of stalls, illusions, and detours and bad roads that everyone's been on since about July are coming up for hard corrections. And for a lot of you, this could be very important, especially in some kind of career matter or a matter of a future financial career or business road. If things were going really good or seemed to be going in a really good direction, say May or June, and then somehow got off-roaded as we got through July and August, be prepared for a reveal as to how or why that happened, but also what's going to set things right. So that's what we've got for your astrology and the weather. Let's talk about your tarot and the traffic. Well, going on over here to your traffic, we've got for your big spiritual theme, your big focus, the Nine of Wands in reverse. So this week is really going to be all about you needing to pay attention to your walls, your boundaries, and your vulnerabilities, but where you might not always have those set up right. The Nine of Wands reverse can often show up where there is a warning about either the walls blocking out the things you need and also the holes letting in the things that you don't. And so it's almost like your hedges, your fences, your walls are maybe not built correctly. And so this week you're advised to pay close attention to where you might have set that up. Are we letting false friends or toxic associates just run around willy-nilly while blocking out true allies? Are we serving the wrong people while blocking out the right people? Are we holding on to familiar but bad things and protecting those versus walling out good things that could help deliver us to something new? You might have to pay attention to where that's going on, Gemini. When it comes to your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, you've got the Six of Swords upright. And again, it's back to a good flow because the Six of Swords is all about some kind of important movement, transition, or leap forward out of maybe choppy waters into smoother and, let's just say, more flourishing ones. The Six of Swords is a great card for anybody looking to make some kind of big departure or transfer or transition, or maybe even some kind of literal or figurative move around a professional or business matter. You might be noticing better business, a change in clientele, a change in assignments, a change in projects, or maybe even an escape from something that's been keeping you stuck on a bad shore. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you've got the Death card reversed. Here's a traffic jammer for you. The Death card reversed is indicating that there could be a problem coming up this week around a friend, an associate, or a relative that is stubbornly clinging to their ways. Somebody that might be pushing or holding on to some kind of obsessive territorial bent, because the Death card reverse is all about a refusal of change, a rejection of change, and usually a possessiveness or territorial nature in a person. As a person, this can often show up as somebody on the Taurus or Scorpio axis, or somebody with a Taurus or Scorpio rising sun or moon. And so there might be some clue in that for you as well. But this person definitely trying to stake a claim on something that shouldn't be their territory, or at least not no more. For your challenge this week, you've got the Ten of Pentacles upright. Ten of Pentacles is a beautiful card. It is all about wealth, good fortune, opulence, and security. And when the Ten of Pentacles shows up, there is something that you're getting a chance to cash in or cash out on in order to actually get some kind of big win. Likely something that could be financial in nature or, family in nature or material in nature. However, the challenge is, cashing out, paying attention to where it is time to close the books on something because it's the getting's hot right now. Sometimes people get this card as a challenge because they don't want to, or they want to hold on to something forever or whatever. Pay close attention where that's not meant to be. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And the Seven of Pentacles in reverse is indicating this week there could be something that is getting dropped or quit, that you and a partner, you and a spouse need to be ready to drop or quit, or maybe some of you are excited about getting a chance to drop or quit this. This is likely something that's been a bad investment, a bad involvement, or something that has already been just creating or inviting more problems. A lot of the times the Seven of Pentacles reverse can show up where we get news that a partner might be looking to drop a bad friendship or change jobs, or maybe we're getting an opportunity to do stuff like that, and that's helping us out in our own life. Whatever the case is, there's a happy release. And for those of you who are single or are available to new people, you might be meeting somebody as they are going through this kind of experience this week. They might be fresh out of something or fresh off of a move or some kind of transition in their own life. So, proportion. So that is what I've got for y'all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene. And should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrology and tarot for the week of December 8th through the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, as these are just general weather and traffic reports for all the Cancerian people watching my channel, you want to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or follow the links in the down bar below. I am one of the OG readers here on YouTube after all, and apparently one of the last to actually still be offering personal readings, which is kind of a shame when you think about it, because I don't think you're legit unless you do. But anyway, let's have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your week. Well, the December 8th and 9th days of this week, we've got Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is creating a traffic jam aspect for everybody. And you might find that something is coming up where maybe a plan for a trip, a plan around maybe a move or some kind of big project launch, an important meeting, or something else you've got on the books is getting mucked up by an obligation, an affiliation, or maybe even a connection you have with a teammate, a community, or somebody that you've got some other kind of work or focus on. And this is going to be a time where we need to kind of uncouple a few things that we've allowed to get latched together, or that we maybe have erroneously or foolishly latched onto ourselves, so that these jams don't persist. On the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is a beautiful aspect for all of... It's just wonderful because Neptune turning direct is giving an opportunity for everyone to do some major hard corrections and get some really good fixes to problems that maybe have persisted for months. Stalls, illusions, detours going back as far as July are likely going to be revealed as to what their problems are and the sources of those problems are. And for a lot of you, this could be helping you to maybe recover, save, or maybe actually get back on track with something that was thrown off course, especially when it comes to something that was looking really good in May and June, but somehow once we got to July, got thrown on a road it didn't belong on. So that's what we've got for your astrology and the weather. Moving on over here to your tarot and the traffic, very much consistent with the cards here, your big spiritual theme, your big focus, your advice for the week. You've got the Six of Wands, and it's reversed. Now, the Six of Wands reversed is all about backpedaling. It's all about undoing. It's all about reversing out of things that we have been involved in, even things that we have been chasing or that we signed ourselves up for, because they're proving to not be good for us. And everyone, every once in a while, has things that come up where you gotta eat some crow. So a lot of you Cancerian people might be doing that. However, with that Six of Wands reversed, there are advantages and wins for those humble enough to do that. The message of the Six of Wands reversed is you don't have to commit to everything that you start. You don't have to finish everything that you start. And sometimes the life lesson is you're going to go down with a ship you didn't need to get on. No, it's time to make some escapes. For your material circumstances, work, job, finances, practical affairs, you've got the Hermit reversed. The Hermit reversed, beautiful reverse card, because this is the card of helpers showing up out of nowhere. Helpers coming out of the woodwork to assist us with something that could actually be very financially gainful. You're also going to be noticing a lot of attention on you during this week, especially in projects or in situations where you might need certain communications, certain applications, or certain transactions to get some visibility. And with the Hermit reversed, a lot of you may also be getting lifted up onto the shoulders of some very powerful and successful people and getting some good coin for that. And for your community with friends, relatives, other people in your life, you've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. As you can tell, this is a nuanced week, which is why I always say tarot is for the thinkers, not the people who need to be emotionally coddled left and right. Anyway, with the Nine of Cups reversed, this week there is something coming up where a wish that you've been putting out there is going to be getting partially granted. Now, partially granted does not necessarily mean something bad, but it's likely that maybe something you've been asking somebody for, something you've been putting out there looking to find, or maybe even somebody who's been trying to help you accomplish something is going to do a good amount of work in actually pulling off a miracle for you, but it will be incomplete. A partial wish granting just means something good is happening, but we're going to have to polish it up and finish it up. For your challenge this week, you've got the Five of Swords in reverse. Five of Swords in reverse. You might have to let go of a battle that you won't let go of. You might have to let go of a fight you have no business fighting anymore. Because the Five of Swords reversed is all about peace. It's all about it's all about repairs. It's all about recuperation, and it's also the ending of conflict. So it's actually a really good card. But when it comes up as a challenge, it challenges us to see where we have to stop trying to fight for something or fight for something to go a certain way. As this is a week of a lot of reversals and a lot of reversals for the good, it's important to know where that's necessary. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the Devil card in reverse. Another good reversed card. And so, again, I'm assuming a lot of people unsubscribed because of all the reverse cards, but the nerds and thinkers and people who read are here with me. You guys are going to actually be in for a really good trip because the Devil card reversed is all about the removal of some kind of thorn in your side or the side of your relationship. The Devil reverse can indicate the exit of a blockage, the exit of a bad guy or bad gal, or possibly even the end of something that has been reintroducing dysfunction or disharmony into your life. Now, you and a partner might be actually getting this news, or this might be developing environmentally this week. But whatever the case is, a thorn in your side is going away. And when it comes to those of you who are single or are available to new people, it's very possible a block or some kind of obstruction or sabotage to a love opportunity or your ability to actually find somebody that will work for you is going away. Sometimes it is a block, sometimes it is an issue, known or unknown, that gets revealed and released, and suddenly it's all systems go. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's time to see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrological and tarot card forecasts for the week of December 8th through the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. These are just general forecasts, right? Astrology and is the weather, tarot is the traffic, so whoever's watching it's getting the forecast. So if you want something truly personal, head on over to my website. I'm one of the last OG YouTubers out there, and apparently one of the last readers out there to offer personal readings. But I think if you're a legit reader, you should. Anyway, moving on. What's going on when it comes to your week? Well, the 8th and the 9th of this week, we've got Mars in Sagittarius square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is creating a traffic jam kind of aspect for everybody. And there seems to be something coming up here around maybe a plan or a setup around either a romantic or personal life agenda, or maybe even something going on with a personal business project, or even something maybe you have planned with one of your kids that is clashing with maybe another area of your life where you are sharing either financial or professional responsibilities with another person. Now, it looks to me like this is one of those situations where these are things that kind of got put together or mushed together that never should have been sharing the same space. And so there might have to be some detangling of whatever is going on here. On the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is actually going to be really, really good for you. It's really, really good for everybody, because Neptune turning direct is doing a lot of hard course corrections for everybody. And for you, this is going to be setting you up for a nice influx of some good bonus monies and bonus capital, because Neptune's in your 8th house of bonus revenue. And so if you have been feeling like the last couple of months, going all the way back to July, has been full of stalls and complications around maybe money or shared resources or shared responsibilities, a lot of the reasons for those stalls, illusions, and detours are going to not only be revealed, but you might also notice a lot of good things from, back even before July, May or June are turning back on for you to cash in on. So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, your big spiritual theme, your big focus for the week, you've got the Magician upright. The Magician is a beautiful card to have as your advice, because this is going to be a week where you are coming into a new era of fame and prestige, and it can last longer than a week if you're somebody who actually does things and goes out and does things, not just watches tarot and astrology. Because with the Magician, we have this rising star experience this week, and you've got to be ready to showcase your talents, show up, and stay in the limelight. With the Magician card, you might also be noticing a lot of new gifts coming your way and favors, and people going out of their way to promote and propagate your good name. Let them. On the material front, work, job, and finances, you've got the Tower card in reverse. This week, you might hear about something going on out there in the maybe other regions of the office, other regions of your field or your market. A collapse, a transformation, or some kind of major ending is going on, not to you, but possibly, again, to another corner of your financial or professional world that will have some kind of proximal or vicarious effect on you. This could be something that is good, or this could be something that's stressful, or a little bit of a mix of all, right? If somebody is getting fired, that might still be an opportunity for a promotion. That might be an opportunity for some overtime, or there might be a new job opening up because of something collapsing elsewhere. But an external issue might actually turn into a story change for you. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you've got the Hierophant reversed. Now, the Hierophant reversed is indicating this week there could be something coming up where a rule that you've been abiding or made to live by, whether it's a big rule or a family rule or a simple contract arrangement, is getting changed, and getting changed in a way that's actually very helpful for you. Because with the Hierophant reversed, we're seeing something that has kept us under its thumb changing where the thumb is. And it's very possible that a lot of you could be getting lifted up by this as well. For your challenge this week, you've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Be careful about that which clings. The Nine of Pentacles reversed can often show up where bad package deals or bad inclusions in situations could turn good into bad. And a lot of the times, the Nine of Pentacles reversed warns us about codependency with people, right? You got to watch out for Klingons and gold diggers and social climbers. You got to watch out for people who just want to, kind of chase where the good fortune is going because they don't know how to make it for themselves, right? There are people who do that. There are people in professional situations and social situations that don't really have anything to bring to the table. So they try to learn how to master relationships and social connections so that they can leech off the people who do. Watch out for that this week, or any version of that. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the Two of Wands upright. And the Two of Wands is all about some kind of important new commitment getting set in stone. It is one of our commitment cards, but the Two of Wands is also about achievement and accomplishment. So there's also some very strong ambitious energy here. You and a partner might be celebrating something that is actually exceeding your expectations upon completion or initiation, or this could even be a week where you and a partner are able to finally confirm and lock in something that's been up in the air, but would have been a golden thing and will be for you both. And for those of you who are single or are available to new people, the Two of Wands is indicating you might be getting a chance to connect with somebody that could also become a very valuable companion and ally in an area of life that has nothing to do with your love life, giving some power couple energy when we think about it. So that is what I've got for your astrology and tarot for the week, Leo. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Virgo, time for your weekly astrological and tarot card forecasts for the week starting December 8th and going up until the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder, these are just weekly astrology and tarot reports that are effectively weather and traffic for everybody watching. So if you are interested in a more personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com. I am one of the OG YouTube readers after all, and apparently one of the last to do personal readings, which I think is quite a shame because how do you know you're legit if you can't give a personal reading? So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is creating a traffic jam of some kind where it's likely some kind of family or household matter could be interfering with something that you're trying to get off the ground with a romantic partner, a business partner, or a close friend or joint venture. And it's possible that this is just bad things coming up all at one time, or it's possible as well that some things need to be detangled because maybe we've piled too much on our plate. But whatever the case is, the excess has created the traffic jam. On the 10th, however, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is actually going to be quite sweet on you because Neptune turning direct in Pisces is all about stalls, illusions, and detours going away and even going through some hard corrections favorably. And for a lot of you, this is going to be changing the course of maybe your romantic life or maybe a road you've been on with a romantic partner or possibly, again, around a business partnership or alliance. If you have been dealing with maybe a lot of stalls or detours or bad roads going back to July, you might be noticing not only the answers as to what was going on and why and who, but also get the solutions. So what's going on when it comes to your tarot and the traffic? Well, coming over here to the traffic, we've got your big spiritual theme, your big focus, the Six of Cups, upright. Again, it's all about the past and actually some pleasant returns from the past this week. The Six of Cups is all about things getting brought back that are actually going to be advantageous that didn't belong stuck in the past, whether it's old opportunities, old money, old connections, special reunions, it does not matter. And your advice for this week is to make sure you are open to it, right? You don't want to be one of those damaged astrology and tarot consumers that is either hyper-fixated on the past or so afraid of it they can't look back. Because if you're watching my channel, you know I encourage people to be above that. When it comes to your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, you've got the Emperor card upright. And the Emperor card is indicating this is a week of coming into some serious power and authority. And for a lot of you, this could be a very promotional week for you, or maybe a financial priority or a business priority. Some of you may be getting lifted up into a position of power and authority. Some of you may find yourself in a position to be benefiting from some important big calls and big moves made by important influential figures. Whatever the case is, it's all systems Virgo. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you've got the Wheel of Fortune upright. And this is an unexpected win or maybe some kind of windfall that could possibly come your way. I don't want people to run out and assume it's always about lottery tickets. That's just trashy. But with the Wheel of Fortune, there is something here that could be actually helping you either in the money department or the social department with very little effort on your part. A lot of the times the Wheel of Fortune is a sign of some kind of big gift or win seemingly being produced by our environment for us. For your challenge this week, you've got the Six of Pentacles upright. The Six of Pentacles is actually a really good card. It is all about generosity, gift giving, as well as people investing in each other. And this week, there may be more than one occasion where you've got to be ready to let people do good things for you. If you have been in a situation where you're afraid to take your hands off the wheel, or maybe you are worried about receiving help from people, or perhaps some Virgos, let's own it, might have some control issues about needing to be the one who knows why, when, and how, and where things are going, you might be getting in your own damn way. And with the Six of Pentacles, it's important to let people do good for you. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the High Priestess reversed. This week, there might be something coming up where, yeah, some manipulations, some bad intel, or maybe even some bad characters are going to need to be checked. For a lot of you, you might actually discover where somebody has been either manipulating you or manipulating a partner. This could be an in-law, this could be not really a friend, this could be a family member, or somebody that is maybe trying to get one or both of you to drink some Kool-Aid y'all shouldn't be drinking. A lot of the times with the High Priestess reversed, we see somebody that is either an overt manipulator who has an agenda or somebody who is, kind of ignorant, uneducated, and stupid who's already drank the Kool-Aid themselves. Either way, we don't listen to that. For those of you who are single or available to new people, the High Priestess reversed is warning about a stand-in or a stand-between. A lot of the time, these bitches kind of know how to make a strong first impression, but they're trying to actually cut the line between a better match for you and you. So be careful not to judge things based on the surface, and always clock when somebody is just speaking in talking points. You can bet that that person's a ticking bomb. So that is what I've got for your astrology and tarot for the week, guys. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name's Nico, Son of Selene. Personal reading links in the down bar below. I will see you all again soon. Hey there, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrological weather and tarot traffic reports for the week starting December 8th, going up until the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder, these are just general weather and traffic reports for all the people watching the channel. So if you are interested in a more personalized reading, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Remember, I'm one of the OG readers on YouTube, but apparently one of the last to offer personal readings. Which is a shame, because how do you know somebody's good if they can't get personal? So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces, which is creating a bit of a traffic jam for everybody. And for you, it looks like there could be something coming up where an opportunity to get ahead with a work or financial matter could be getting jammed up by somebody that is attempting to maybe put themselves in or get involved or get committed to something they should not be on board with. This could be an inclusion that you brought in that you need to take back, or this could be a situation that somebody else is trying to muscle in that should not be there. Either way, it's only going to spell problems if it's allowed to be there. For the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is going to be great for everybody because this is all about stalls, illusions, and detours getting some hard corrections in a good way for you, especially around work and money. And if you've been dealing with a situation where it almost feels like you have been kind of dealing with maybe some promises going unfulfilled, or maybe old roads or old ways forward, or even old money has been kind of teased but blocked from you, even going back as far as July, Neptune direct is going to get a good flow going and maybe even show you exactly what, where, and why some of those blocks occurred. So what's going on when it comes to your tarot and the traffic? Well, on the spiritual theme front, or your advice for the week, you've got the Two of Swords upright. This week, you are going to need to be ready to be impartial and let go of your biases and let go of some prejudices as well, as the Two of Swords is all about getting into some good old-fashioned left brain logic and not focusing on your emotional sensibilities, because a lot of things coming up this week that are going to be good for you might challenge your attachments, might challenge your biases, or might challenge your preferences and prejudices. This could be a week where you have to be a lot more neutral, right? The capacity for nuance is a sign of intelligence. And this week, you've got to be careful because there are some things you're going to have to call out that you wish you didn't have to. And there are going to be some things that you're going to have to give a chance that you thought would be bad. When it comes to your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, you have the Page of Cups and it's reversed. So again, we come to this theme of bad inclusions, people that are maybe involved in a situation or trying to pressure or peer pressure or attach to things that they should not be getting their hands on. And the Page of Cups reverse could show up where excessive attention or maybe even somebody trying to manipulate through artificial sweetness or manipulate through fawning, manipulate through suffusion or effusive behavior could be creating a problem. There could be something coming up here where it's like somebody's trying to offer you a poison apple in terms of an assignment, or maybe even a working alliance or some kind of business or financial arrangement. This week, you got to say no. You might even discover who it is or what's going on, or maybe where they've pulled that before. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you've got the Three of Swords reversed. Now, the Three of Swords reversed is actually a good reverse card because this is all about reversing old hurts, reversing old damages, healing things. And it's possible you and a friend, a relative, or an ally are getting a chance to patch up a situation that was hurt once in the past, whether it's fixing the situation or the connection you had with each other. Reversing old damages done could also indicate turning back the clock on things that maybe have been forced to come down a bad way for y'all. For your challenge this week, you've got the Queen of Wands reversed. This week, you've got to be careful about manipulators. The Queen of Wands reversed can often show up as a manipulative character, typically somebody on the fire sign spectrum, very heavy Leo energy, but it could also be on the Aries or Sag side of things. A lot of the times the Queen of Wands reversed can show up as somebody that presents that very intense mean girl, again, high maintenance equals high esteem, artificial empowerment kind of vibe, gossip, but also, again, likes to try to muscle their way wherever they can. A lot of the times this person might be attempting to get your goat or apply false threats in order to get what they want. The best way to deal with the Queen of Wands reversed, because there's always a bit of narcissism in a Queen of Wands reversed, is to call the bitch out in public. Believe me, more people hate this person than just you will. And the best way to hurt them is humiliation. For your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the Five of Pentacles reversed. The Five of Pentacles reversed is actually a really good card in love and romance because it's all about a void getting filled, something getting put back together, or something that we've been doing without finally being ours. And so with the Five of Pentacles reversed, it's possible you and a partner are getting a chance to maybe even enjoy something getting replenished or something being gifted to you guys that has been void in your relationship for a while, something that you've learned to live without or operate without. And maybe even with the Five of Pentacles reversed, something where you and a partner are getting to experience an important healing around something that you guys deeply miss or sorrow over. And for those of you who are single or are available to new people, the Five of Pentacles reversed is indicating this week there could be something coming up where a new person might also have some kind of important connection, intel, or resource that could help heal or fix something in your life that has nothing to do with love. And you might have the same for them. So that's what I've got for your astrology and tarot this week, guys. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name's Nico, Son of Selene. And if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrological weather and tarot for the week of December 8th up until the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or follow the links down below. These are just general weather and traffic reports. After all, I am one of the OG readers here on YouTube, but apparently one of the last to still offer personal readings, which is kind of a shame, if you ask me. So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, on the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is creating a traffic jam experience for everybody that we're all going to have to be smart about navigating. And it's possible something could come up where some kind of work snafu, or maybe even some kind of financial obligation or work development could be clashing with a plan or clashing with a commitment you have with a romantic partner, one of your kids, or maybe even something around a personal creative project or maybe a personal business endeavor. This traffic jam does not need to be allowed to go on and just be in perpetuity, but you've got to be able to navigate and organize your time well. When this comes up, there is a way to make sure it doesn't do more problem making for you. For the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is a beautiful aspect for everybody because Neptune is turning direct and correcting, with some hard corrections, some stalls, illusions, and detours that have maybe been plaguing your love life, or maybe the relationship you have with one of your kids, or maybe even some kind of personal business enterprise or artistic pursuit going back a few months. You see, Neptune going direct is helping to fix a lot of things that have maybe created some issues in this area of your life, going all the way back to July. And you might have even find that some things that were maybe on the table, or even some goodies from May or June, may come back in new forms, even though they were maybe blocked earlier in the year. So that's what we've got for your astrology and the weather. Let's talk about your tarot and the traffic. So coming over here to the traffic for your big spiritual theme, your big focus, you've got the Ace of Swords, and it's upright. This is a week of road openings. This is a week of green lights. And for a lot of you, this is going to be a week of fantastic action. But fantastic action can also demand action from you. And with the Ace of Swords, you might be noticing a lot of things turning on that were kind of stuck on a loading screen in your life. And your advice is be ready to not only initiate, but follow up. Make sure that you're able to hit the gas when it's time to have the light turn green. This could show up in work. This could show up in your social life. But a lot of the times the Ace of Swords, authorization, access, and acceleration is in the cards. For your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, you've got the Queen of Swords upright. Beautiful card here because it looks like some kind of brilliant helper is going to be stepping forward or showing up in your life here. Likely somebody that's going to be helping you solve a problem that's either been unsolvable or merely tolerated around a work or financial matter. Typically with the Queen of Swords, we see a tough cookie. Like she doesn't mince words. She doesn't wear kids' gloves. She's here to fix things. She's not here to just sort of cope with things. Likely this is somebody who's going to vibe more on the Aquarius spectrum, but when we look at air, it could also just as easily be a Libra or a Gemini, sun, moon, or rising, but somebody who also is focusing on the logic and the left brain side of it all, but also, again, somebody that could be opening a door for you that maybe you've not been able to open a door for yourself. For your community with friends, relatives, other people in your life, you've got the Seven of Wands in reverse. This week, you might have to talk down a friend or an ally or a relative that might be fighting a battle the wrong way, or might actually be trying to help a situation, but they're actually hurting it more than anything else. And for a lot of you, this could be something coming up around a group matter. And so you might not be the only one aware of what is happening there. So see what you can do to kind of diplomatically, but again, carefully, help them set themselves right. For your challenge this week, you've got the Ace of Pentacles upright. The Ace of Pentacles is a great card. It's all about new security, gifts that keep on giving, new stability, new harmony. And when this card shows up as a challenge, a lot of the times it's about making sure that you stabilize and ground things that maybe you or other people are decidedly keeping fluid, vague, nebulous, and disorganized. This is not a week to just kind of flounder about intuitively. This is a week that's going to require some decisive, careful, intentional action. And you want to be careful this week because sometimes you might be tempted to just kind of see where things go. But the Ace of Pentacles says, if you want gifts to last longer than this week, you'll stabilize them and give them a good home. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the Queen of Pentacles upright. And we've got some very important helper energy here as well. Because the Queen of Pentacles is representing somebody getting involved in your personal life, in your love life, that could actually be also taking you and a partner or a significant other under her wing. The Queen of Pentacles usually shows up as somebody who vibes on the Taurus spectrum. Could also, however, because she's all about the earth, could be a Virgo or a Capricorn. This is somebody who takes pride in the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into their own work. This is a self-made success. This is not a freeloader. And this could be somebody that could be actually helping you guys with something that maybe you could use that backup with. And for those of you who are single or are available to new people, the Queen of Pentacles is likely the character that will be showing up in your life this week. And so, I find that attractive. If I was into women, I would go for her. But if you're not into women, this could also be somebody helping you, a character helping you open a door in your love life. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrological weather and tarot traffic reports for December 8th up until the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder that these are just general weather and traffic reports for whoever's watching the YouTube channel. So I would say if you want something a bit more personal from me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. I am one of the OG readers of YouTube, after all, and I think it's a shame that people aren't offering more personal readings nowadays. So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mars in Sagittarius, square to Saturn in Pisces. So Mars is in your sign, and this is creating a traffic jam that you might need to be ready to deal with because you might be at the center of it. A lot of the times when we have Mars and Saturn get into a clash, especially here for you guys, there could be something coming up where maybe a personal goal, a personal project, or something that you're working on solo is clashing with an interest that you share with a family member, a household matter, or your household economy. And it's possible that maybe a personal project or personal fancy is maybe starting to throw something out of balance. And so you need to be ready to fix that. On the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is actually really good news. Because Neptune turning direct is all about fixing and making some hard corrections to things that have been out of sorts and off-road for a while. Because this is happening in your 4th house of home and family, this is likely going to be a period where you might notice a lot of issues that have come up around household income, personal business goals, or maybe even family relationships are coming up to be fixed and even healed or set on better paths, especially if they've been enormously challenged since about July. Whatever the case is, be prepared for some happy wins. So what's going on when it comes to your week and your tarot? Well, your big spiritual theme, your big focus, your advice this week, you've got the Two of Pentacles upright. This is going to be a week of a lot of busyness, but also a lot of prosperity for all of you Sagittarius folks out there. But you are being called to pay attention to where things need to be kept in a harmonious balance for harmonious change. The Two of Pentacles is asking you to be ready to not only work harder than you maybe normally do, but also at the same time get back into a balance where things in your life have been lopsided. What areas of your life or what people or what projects have kind of hogged up the spotlight, hogged up the attention, or hogged up the resources? You might need to get down to business this week and start redistributing yourself and yours more evenly. For your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, you have the Star upright. And the Star is all about new directions, superior opportunities, and also lucky breaks that require us to be ready to adjust our roads. And this week, there could be some good fortune getting ready to come to you in stages. This could be around a new development on the job, a new job opportunity, or perhaps even a career or personal business road branching off in a really sweet new direction. And yes, there will be money, of course, to boot. But with the Star card upright, you may have to be ready to, again, adjust the way you have set up your world and your calendar to accommodate. For your community with friends, relatives, other people in your life, you've got the Seven of Cups upright. This week, there could be some issues that develop around a friend or maybe a relative or an ally that might actually be kind of stopping in their tracks, especially when it comes to something where you are used to counting on them to show up for certain projects or certain responsibilities. The Seven of Cups can sometimes show up for daydreaming, illusions, temptations, or even maybe something where a person is just no longer really invested in what we have come to expect them to be invested in. Now, this is not something to take personally, like somebody with a bunch of weird, stupid abandonment issues, but it is something to maybe check and see. Is this person doing okay? And is there a way that we can maybe adjust for what's going on? For your challenge this week, you've got the Moon card reversed. And the Moon card reversed is indicating this week there could be some important reveals going on, especially around certain secrets or certain hidden information or hidden intel that you have to be ready to hear honestly. Because sometimes the moon card reverse will show up as a challenge where we hear things that are true that we don't want to hear. We hear things that are true that we immediately don't want to believe. Or we hear things that are true that we don't want to take on board. But the truth is, sometimes things that don't necessarily make us feel good or validated, or things that don't necessarily follow our narrative are true. You might have to deal with that once in a while. When it comes to your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the Four of Pentacles upright. And with the Four of Pentacles this week, love and romance might not necessarily take prio for a lot of you. Sometimes the Four of Pentacles can show up where you and a partner might not necessarily be able to give the time and energy you guys want to for the relationship to it. Now, sometimes that can just be excess busyness, which has been very clear for you, or maybe even for them. Sometimes the Four of Pentacles is just kind of like a, hold on, we'll come back to this later. We'll make up for this later kind of stuff. But I feel like a lot of you Sagittarius people might not be kind of given that time and energy to love and romance, and that's okay. This is only a weekly forecast. For those of you who are single or available to new people, this week it might be a little quiet on the Western front. And for a lot of you, again, I just don't know if you're going to have the time. So that is what I've got for your astrology and the tarot for this week, guys. Again, don't forget to check your rising and your moon to see what else is going on and how you want to distribute yourselves. And if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrological and tarot card forecasts for the week starting December 8th up until the 15th, 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below, as these are just general weather and traffic reports for everybody, after all. And, I am one of the OG readers here on YouTube, and I think it's a shame that people aren't offering personal readings so much anymore. Maybe more on that later. So what is going on when it comes to your week? What is happening with your astrology and the weather? Well, on the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is creating a traffic jam that we all need to be paying attention to. But for you, there seems to be something coming up where something that is holding you in a past phase, a past situation, or maybe even a past era that should be long gone and traded out by now, is going to be stirring up some trouble. And it's possible a lot of you Capricorn people might be called to attention to see where this persisting in your life is the reason something else is not going forward. Of course, we all have a traffic jam to deal with this week, but you guys are on special notice because Mars is in your 12th house, and you don't want to be anchored in a bygone era. On the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is going to be actually creating a beautiful shift for everybody. Because when Neptune turns direct here, a lot of communications, a lot of helpful third parties, a lot of gifts, hookups, matchups, and even collaborations, things that could be enhancing your social life and your professional life, are going to be going through some hard corrections if they've been getting jammed up or maybe set on bad roads, especially when it comes to situations that have been maybe living in a bad way or going on in a bad way since July. And for a lot of us, we've kind of noticed that, right? It kind of feels like a lot of stalls, illusions, and detours have been putting us in a weird bizarro place. And you might even find that a lot of good things that were promised earlier in the year are coming back on the table for you. So that's what we've got for your astrology and the weather. Let's talk about your tarot and the traffic. All right, coming over here to the tarot traffic, your big spiritual theme, your big focus, and your advice. You've got the Nine of Swords upright. This is going to be a week where fortune favors the brave and punishes the cowardly. As the Nine of Swords is saying, this week you are going to have to face some anxieties and some fears and things that you've been putting off facing or dealing with. But for those of you who do face the music, there are some serious wins in store. The Nine of Swords always asks us to face our fears, trepidations, and anxieties and go through some deeply personal tests. You will be put through your fair share. And again, fortune favors the brave, not the cowards this week. So I think you can infer what the advice is there. When it comes to your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, practical affairs, you've got the Eight of Swords upright. And this week, there could be something coming up where you might have to be ready to go over or around somebody or a situation that is holding up the works with an important conversation, an important dialogue, or maybe a project or exchange. A lot of the times with the Eight of Swords, we see somebody who's set in their ways, they're going slower than everybody else, they're kind of checked out of a given situation. This could be somebody that you think you have to talk to. This could be somebody that you think you have to work with, but your advice here is to go over their heads. You don't need to let them be the thing that stands between you and a good job development, a good financial development, or a good household development. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you've got the Five of Wands upright. This week, there could be some interesting observations to be made around some clashes or divisions in social groups and social dynamics. The Five of Wands upright indicates that you might be watching a group, a community, or a family or household that you are associated with kind of coming at odds with itself and those within. And with the Five of Wands, this is actually something that probably is supposed to happen, and yet at the same time, it could still be a bit difficult. The Five of Wands is about transforming a situation through conflict and through competition. Your advice here is not to come in as a peacemaker, but to see what rises to the top. And for your challenge this week, you've got the Sun card reversed. And the Sun card reversed is indicating this week is all about cleaning up your world. Even if it's reversed, the Sun card is still a good card. And the Sun reversed is all about repairs, getting rid of the ick and the yick and shadows and sludge and just not so healthy influences that are around us or a given space. But if this card is coming up as a challenge, more often than not, there could be something that comes up where you are afraid that the cure is worse than living with the disease, metaphorically speaking, and you might have to be ready to suck it up. And for those of you who are just curious, the Sun card reversed does show its virtues, so don't be afraid to challenge something old and problematic just because it's something you can time your watch to. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you have the Knight of Wands upright. Love and romance is going into very hot, very wild, and very cool space for all of you, because the Knight of Wands is all about play, recreation, popularity, and adventure. And for a lot of you this week, you might be noticing partners are becoming a lot more outgoing, a lot more ambitious, or you might even find that you guys are starting to attract new friends or important support system members that are helping to jazz things up and bring a little bit more electricity into your life. The Knight of Wands could be a friend of yours or a friend of a partner's, likely a Sagittarius or somebody vibing on the Sagittarius side, but Wands are fire, so it could just as easily be a Leo or Aries as well, Sun, Moon, or Rising. But somebody that is kind of really shaking things up for the good and maybe even turning this week into kind of a wild ride or giving you and a partner a chance to go on a bit of an excursion yourselves. And for those of you who are single or are available to new people, the Knight of Wands is the type of character that could be showing up this week. And guess what? They like to take the initiative. And again, there might be somebody making a bold approach if you're open to a bold approach. So that's what we've got for your astrology and tarot for the week, guys. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your weekly astrological and tarot card forecasts for the week of December 8th up until the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or follow the links in the down bar below. I am one of the OG readers of YouTube after all. I think it's a shame that so many people are just not really doing personal readings anymore. But you got to remember, these are just weather and traffic reports for whoever's watching. So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, the 8th and the 9th, we have Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn and Pisces. And this week, there could be a traffic jam or a problem stirred up due to a conflict of interest where friendship and business, or friendship and money are entangled. And for a lot of you, there could be something coming up where it's possible a friend, a coworker, a teammate, an employee, or somebody that is a member of your community that does have a responsibility to do the right job, to fulfill their role, is screwing up. And it might actually be somebody that you're kind of soft on. And this week, there could be something coming up where you have to be ready to, well, be a little bit more serious about holding them accountable. On the 10th, we've got Neptune turning direct in Pisces. And this is a beautiful, beautiful shift for everybody because it's all about correcting stalls, illusions, and detours. Now, for you, this is in your second house of income, employment, and security. And so if you've been in a kind of a way where it almost feels like life on the job or money or whatever has been kind of up and down or just kind of thrown into all kinds of disarrays every now and then, going back as far as July, this is going to be a really handy turn direct for you. And you might even find that some promising opportunities or promising roads from before July are also getting reactivated. So that is what we've got for your astrology and the weather. Moving on to your tarot and the traffic, your big spiritual theme and your big focus is the Temperance card, reversed. Now, the Temperance card reversed is saying this week you are going to have to pay extra close attention to where incompatible people, personalities, energies, and elements are occupying spaces they should not be sharing, and do some corrections about it. Because a lot of the times with the Temperance card reversed, we can see things come up that are showing us where things that we've been trying to mesh or blend or put together are working against each other, not with each other. And you might even notice that this is something that's asking you to, again, pay attention to where conflicts of interest are the reason other things don't go forward. Are we being too inclusive with things? Are we trying to make things that don't work try to work? Are we trying to make things just feel better instead of actually be better? Are we trying to make the wrong coworkers, the wrong people, or the wrong whatevers handle the wrong responsibilities? This is a week of corrections, as we saw with that Neptune direct. For your big material theme, the big focus around money, job, career, practical affairs, you've got the Page of Wands reversed. We kind of already talked about this. There is a bit of a headache coming up here where somebody might be flaking out, bailing out, screwing off, or not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And unfortunately, with the Page of Wands reversed, this can be somebody that we're kind of soft on, kind of sweet on. This could be a buddy. This could be a favorite employee. This could be a favorite customer or client or somebody that we actually have a good connection with most days. But unfortunately, with the Page of Wands reversed, something is not jiving. Something is not moving forward. And you may have to find a way to not only overcompensate, but maybe redraw the boundary around whatever this is. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you've got the Five of Cups reversed. And this is actually a really good reverse card because the Five of Cups reversed is all about replacements for things that we once lost or once let us down or maybe caused us some kind of suffering in the past. So with the Five of Cups reversed, a friend or an ally or maybe even, again, a relative could be helping you to replace something in your life that was maybe missing or has been continuing to be the source of some kind of trouble. With the Five of Cups reversed, you are put on notice to be open-minded enough to allow things to be replaced, because sometimes we get used to something not being there, or we're afraid to replace it, or we're afraid to replace something we are overdue to replace anyway. But it is a good card. For your challenge this week, you've got the King of Wands upright. Not really a bad card, but maybe something that does force you to open your mind about a few things. The King of Wands actually shows up as a very good ally. This is somebody that I refer to as the guy with the hookup, right? The King of Wands is the one who's got the power, who's got the leverage, who's well connected. And when we see this guy show up, he's here to hook us up. Most likely somebody vibing on the Aries spectrum, or maybe somebody who, because wands are all about fire, could be more of a Leo or a Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. Usually with the King of Wands, they are helping us to bolster or make something more profitable or grow faster or progress faster than it is. But if it's coming up as a challenge, maybe you're being challenged to do things his way. And for your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And this week, there could be something coming up where you and a partner have to face where it's possible something that we've been breaking bread with or somebody we've been sharing space with, it's just not working out. A lot of the times with the Three of Pentacles reversed, we see a team situation collapse, or again, people stepping on each other's toes, people being forced to occupy the same place or maybe drive in the same lane when they got no business sharing a lane. And you and a partner might need to find a way to, again, work things out a bit differently in this situation. It doesn't mean everyone has to hate each other. It doesn't mean everything has to come to a grinding halt. But it does mean that maybe changing the roster is important in whatever the situation is. And for those of you who are single or are available to new people, the Three of Pentacles reverse is indicating you might be connecting with somebody that is extremely different from you in a lot of ways. And while it's nice to have a complementarian kind of relationship, we want to make sure that we are not just going for somebody that is our opposite 100% of the time. This might be a little bit hard to work in or work out, but it's worth exploring to see if some of you want to make it work. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Pisces, here is your weekly astrological and tarot card forecast for the week of December 8th up until the 15th, 2025. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow them links in the down bar below. I am one of the OG readers of YouTube, but apparently one of the last to be offering any kind of personal readings. But how do you know if somebody's legit if they can't actually answer specific questions? I'd be curious what your thoughts are. So what's going on when it comes to your week? Well, the 8th and the 9th of this week, you have Mars in Sagittarius forming a square to Saturn in Pisces. Well, actually we all do because it's cosmological. And with Mars in Sag square to Saturn in your sign, there is going to likely be some kind of a traffic jam coming up here that you might need to be ready to assess with a bit more fervor. A lot of the times when we have a clash like this, we can see some kind of career, job, or work commitment, or maybe even a contract or old agreement, or something that still has somebody's name on it, being the cause of some kind of trouble, strife, or issue in the present or around another corner of our world. And we have to be ready to assess the situation and also undo it if we are to end the jam. On the 10th, we've also got Neptune turning direct in Pisces, which is beautiful because it's your ruling planet. And when Neptune turns direct, we are seeing a lot of hard corrections to some stalls, illusions, and detours that maybe have actually been setting you up or setting something you care about up to operate in the wrong place on the wrong road, or stay in the wrong place or stay on the wrong road. And for a lot of you, this could be actually correcting things that have been getting hard set or secured or made so going all the way back to July. And you may also find that a lot of promising things from before July are coming back on the table for you. So that's what we've got for your astrology and the weather. Here's your tarot traffic. Your big spiritual theme, your big focus for this week is the Knight of Cups upright. It's a week of interconnectivity. It is a week where we need to be smart about allowing ourselves to be joining forces with the right people. The Knight of Cups is all about bonds. It's all about not only creating strong commitments with people, but also about loyalty, generosity, and demonstrations of care, love, affection, and friendship. And this week, you might want to be ready to take down some boundaries or some barriers that maybe have been keeping out the good while also keeping in the bad, because that's what can happen sometimes. The Knight of Cups might also indicate here an opportunity for you to take a walk on the wild side by enjoying maybe some of the adventures or some of the goings-ons or some of the pursuits of other people, and could be actually bringing in or opening up some new doors or whole new worlds for you. For your material circumstances, work, job, and finances, you've got the Judgment card reversed. This week, there may be something that comes up where we realize something has to be dropped, quit, abandoned, or stopped before it starts or before it gets worse. A lot of the time, the Judgment card reverse can indicate a need for us to call something that is already kind of set up to fail or has already shown us all it can be. and is on the verge of approaching a decline. This could be a project, an account, an agreement, but the important thing to remember with the Judgment card reversed is that this is something that's actually sparing you a lot of trouble, not making it, and it will get replaced. For your community with friends, relatives, and other people in your life, you've got the Ace of Wands reversed. This week, there could be something coming up, or a spat could lead you to getting burnt out on somebody that maybe you've been giving a lot of chances, or somebody that you've been keeping a space for, or somebody that you have been maybe counting on. The Ace of Wands reversed is basically the card that says there's no more energy here. There's no more energy for this person. There's no more energy for their antics or whatever's going on around them. And this friend, this relative, or whoever they are, you might be deciding to put them on timeout or kick them to the curb. For your challenge this week, you've got the King of Swords upright. And the King of Swords is actually a good card when he's upright. This is somebody that is sort of an ace in the hole kind of character. He is somebody that is an expert, somebody who's very smart, very well studied, a very cunning tactician, and somebody who wants to work with and for us, and possibly has something that they could use to turn a tide, or maybe even help us replace something in our life with something better. However, when he shows up as a challenge, the challenge is to, well, listen to this person. The King of Swords could show up as somebody who vibes on more of the air spectrum, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini in particular. But I feel with the King of Swords, what might be happening is somebody is showing up to help fix or solve a problem that can only be fixed or solved one way. And it might not be a way that you like, but you're challenged to, get over that. For your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you've got the King of Pentacles upright. And so this week you might also be noticing the world of love getting transformed in a beautiful way by this earthy character. The King of Pentacles usually shows up as somebody that is not only stalwart and strong, but also generous, somebody who's very protective, and also somebody who's extremely hardworking and ambitious. This could be a friend or an ally of yours or a partner's helping to maybe polish or maybe even bring up or level up something in your guys' lives. Likely this is a guy who's going to be on the Earth spectrum, a Virgo, a Capricorn, or a Taurus, but somebody who has a lot of power and muscle and also creativity in balance. This is usually when we deal with the pentacle people or the sword people, we see somebody that's got that balance of left and right brain to do things in a very cool way. But also, for those of you who are single or are available to new people, this could be somebody that could be a good match for those of you who are into dudes. If you're not into dudes, this could just be a dude who helps you to find a good match. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.